Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use. Tips a balance in favor of fair use. So anyways, you guys, I have subscribed to Los Angeles Times and a few newspapers. They kind of force you. I do like, a lot of these newspapers so I can read these articles. However, I resent that they force you to subscribe. I mean, they could offer an option, not just Los Angeles Times, but a lot of these newspapers could just offer, if you want to read the article, like 99 cents or $2 or whatever, not force you into, I really, it bothers me. Anyways, here's the article. It's definitely related to the things that I cover regarding children in Scientology and some other cults. So, I remember hearing about this dude, and I'm not going to go into the whole story with these people. You guys, anyone in the know knows. You know what they do. They're very sick. And also, too, doesn't Nicki Minaj has one of her altars is Roman Polanski, so figure it out. Roman Polanski civil trial set for August 2025 in child rape case. At least they called it the right name. Roman Polanski has been accused of child sexual abuse in a lawsuit. And by the way, a lot of these evildoers, a lot of times, look at that. A lot of times they throw a sacrificial lamb out because people want, they want some type of justice. Creepy AF looking. Oh my God. I just remember hearing about this dude like years ago. And I believe his girlfriend was murdered. Like she died in his pool or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but oh, this is irritating. Anyways, I'm going to read the article. Dated March 12, 2024. By Christy Caras, Stacy Pearman, and James Quiali. A trial date has been set in a civil case alleging that Roman Polanski raped a child in the 1970s. This is interesting. Statute of limitations. Years before he was arrested for sexually abusing a 13-year-old girl in a separate case. 13. How many 13-year-old girls right now in Scientology are being AR'd or forced into marriages they don't want to be in? And Mormons, too. The trial scheduled to take place on August 4th, 2025, following a lawsuit that accused Polanski of giving a child alcohol. Oh, kind of like Jesus juice, huh? And raping her at his Benedict Canyon home. The complaint was filed last June in Los Angeles County Superior Court. The filmmaker wasn't named in the case until July. The plaintiff remains anonymous as Jane Doe. The suit was originally filed without the plaintiff's or defendant's names made public. Isn't it crazy that you have to protect the victims like this because they could either get hurt or offed? They're protecting their right to R. The plaintiff and her attorney, Gloria Allred, big up to Gloria Allred, discussed the case Tuesday during a news conference in Los Angeles. Allred said she was able to have Polanski served at his home in Paris. Our client has demonstrated enormous courage in filing her lawsuit against a famous director. I can't help but think, didn't Haggis go out to Paris? Allred said at the news conference, although the defendant has appeared to return to business as usual in his life, it's typical, our client has not been able to return to business as usual, just like the Masterson victims. But we look forward to our fight for justice and accountability for Jane Doe. The plaintiff added that it took her a long time to decide to sue Polanski and that her goal is to obtain justice and accountability. Asked by reporters how old the plaintiff was during the alleged rape, Allred would only say that the plaintiff was under 18. I wonder why. I wonder why that is. Allred said the victim in the lawsuit reported the assault to police, but she declined to offer additional details. You guys know. You guys know. You guys know. You know, you know, you know. Polanski, who previously pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting a minor in a separate case in 1977. This reminds me of a Woody Allen dude. That's the guy, right? Yeah. Before fleeing the United States, has denied the allegations and attempted to get the case dismissed. Also, it's good for us to take note where these guys are fleeing to. Just makes me wonder. And they do have money, so I mean, there's that. He strenuously denies, deny the allegations, and the proper place to try this case is in the courts. Polanski's attorneys, Alexander Rufus Isaacs, told the Times. According to the complaint, Polanski invited the defendant to dinner. There you go, you guys. You guys know, did you see the patterns? Bro, every single one that I've read about. One of the victims, I can't think of her name, with Bill Cosby, invited her to his home, I believe. Several of the whole Diddy victims, I'm trying to remember. They were invited to Diddy's home. Who else? I believe Masterson as well. I don't know. Masterson was a little different, but it did and Haggis too. They always do that. That's part of them luring the victim into their space. Like they feel more comfortable and they've got everything set up so they can do the crime in their place. Polanski invited the defendant to dinner after meeting her at the party in 1973. I have a feeling she was around 13 or 14. That's my opinion. They dined at a restaurant on La Cienega Boulevard, where Polanski ordered the plaintiff tequila, despite knowing she was a minor. Same thing like Jesus juice, isn't it? The lawsuit alleges. After drinking the tequila, the plaintiff allegedly became dizzy and sick and told Polanski she wasn't feeling well. Polanski then drove the plaintiff back to his house. Oh, so it didn't start at his house. But they always want to do their crimes in their house. And furthermore, they've got it all set up, too, because it's pre-planned. And brought her into his bedroom, where she passed out on his bed, the suit says. Yeah, that's usually an indication that no means no, you guys. And look at them. They're always like the most unattractive on earth. They really are. When the plaintiff woke up, Polanski was lying next to her and told her that he wanted to have sex with her. The complaint alleges. Polanski proceeded to remove the plaintiff's clothes and rape her after she told him no. Yeah, they don't know what no means. Shank. Please don't do this, causing her tremendous physical and emotional pain and suffering. The lawsuit continues. The plaintiff seeking a jury trial and unspecified damages. Polanski, 90, pleaded guilty. Let's see what he's going to use to worm out of this. And I do find it odd, I have to be honest. I find it odd that they're trying a 90-year-old. I mean, you guys know what the you-know-whats do, right? You guys know what the ones at the top do. Pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting Samantha Geimer, Nee Gailey, then 13, in 1977, when he was 43. Following allegations that he drugged and assaulted her. There we go. That's their thing. Diddy's doing, like you see all the patterns. I think that's why a lot of those weirdos, and I'm going to call them weirdos, that were going to that restaurant, La Poubelle. Remember when the protesters were recording the weird-looking people that would go into that bar? They would all laugh about the rape, drugging and raping. They thought it was real funny. And I still think that those were actors that were sent from Scientology, a lot of them. drugged and assaulted her at the home of actor Jack Nicholson. Huh. While on probation and before a verdict was delivered, the director fled to France. What's going on in France, man? I don't know, maybe France doesn't even want these fools either. Last year, Geimer posed for a photograph with Polanski and sat down with his wife, actress Emmanuelle Seeger, for an interview that was published in the French magazine Le Point. Anybody really in the know knows a lot what goes on in Paris, right? You guys know what's up. Let me be very clear, what happened with Polanski was never a big problem for me. Can you believe this? You see what they're doing, right? But they're all coming out of the woodwork, these vampires. She said in a translated version of the interview obtained earlier by the Times, "I didn't even know it was illegal, that someone could be arrested for it. I was fine, I'm still fine. The fact when we made this a big deal weighs on me terribly. To have to constantly repeat that it wasn't a big deal. You know, drugging and raping, no big deal. It's a terrible burden. Boy, they keep putting this frickin' girl out here. Irritating me, you guys." Okay. Until Me Too shifted the paradigm, I personally think that was controlled opposition thing. But it did get a lot of good done. In Hollywood and elsewhere. The director of Rosemary's Baby. You guys ever seen Rosemary's Baby? Wakey, 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 wakey. In Chinatown. Had the support of many of his peers who largely hewed the idea that audiences can separate art from the artist. In 2014, when the U.S. government attempted to extradite Polanski, a raft of Hollywood luminaries, oh, instead of prestigious executives, Hollywood luminaries. Do you mean they're illumined? Do you guys mean they're illumined? Do you wear hooded robes too? Signed a petition in his defense. Four years later, however, Hollywood was in the throes of a reckoning over sexual misconduct by powerful men. By monsters. In 2018, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, citing the criminal case against Polanski, expelled him along with Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein. I'm kind of starting to think that these are just, some of these people are just sacrificial, like sacrificial lambs just thrown out to the masses to keep them happy. From the organization that hands out the Oscars. Polanski sued in Los Angeles Superior Court in 2019 to be reinstated as a member. He lost. Good. He lost in 2020. You see, like, the audacity? Like, they're like, oh, the law doesn't apply to me. I can art children. I like children. I can art children. Polanski's criminal case garnered renewed attention in 2022 when an unsealed transcript revealed a judge had only intended to sentence the director for 90 days. What did I tell you guys? I must be psychic. Wakey, wakey, everybody. Are they in the inner circle or the inner sanctum? Are they wearing hooded robes at night? Around in a circle? In custody of the assault against Geimer, Polanski was being held on a 90-day diagnostic evaluation. You guys know what they're going to set something up. Oh, he's not mentally competent, or it's going to be some crap. While a judge contemplated his fate, he was released early and fled the country. You guys think that wasn't planned? Come on now. Come on. They don't have to follow the law. They can do whatever they want. That was all planned. Come on now. He was released early and fled the country. But for years, Polanski's attorneys had argued the transcripts would prove LA County Superior Court Judge Lawrence Rittenbond intended that short term to be his whole sentence. You see, they're not even following the laws, you guys. My recollection is that he said this case is worth 90 days. I'm going to send him for 90 days. So you can R a child, you guys, and get 90 days. Put him in the general population. I'm going to send him for 90 days, but I'm not going to send him to county jail. Why not? Why not? Rittenband said, according to testimony from the lead prosecutor in the case, Roger Gunson. Rittenband died in 1993. Gunson has not responded to prior inquiries from the Times. Polanski's attorneys, Harland Braun. Oh, that sounds like Scooter Braun. Scooter Braun of, Justin Bieber's old manager. I wonder if they're related. They might not be. Said in 2022, he would file a motion to have Polanski sentenced in absentia and ask for the fugitive warrant against the director to be dismissed. What? Reached via email on Tuesday, Brown said he had no comment on Allred's allegations and noted he still had yet to file the sentencing motion. It remains unclear whether the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office would file fugitive charges. You see this shit, guys? Against Polanski upon his return to the U.S. A spokesman did not immediately respond to comment Tuesday. Of course not. See what they do, you guys. See what's going on in Hollywood. Do you guys know what Hollywood means? Hollywood is the name of a plant or a tree. I think it's a plant that they use in magical rituals. Not all magic's bad, but some is. Asked during Tuesday's news conference how the latest Polanski case would proceed in Los Angeles if the filmmaker stays in Europe, Allred said he's not coming back to the United States. Isn't that like FBI? Isn't that like a huge crime? Didn't he flee? Like flee from what is it called, you guys? Like fleeing the oh man. But this is a civil lawsuit. He does not have to appear for a civil lawsuit. Anyways, you guys. So that's it. I'll leave the link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.